Mr. Kenyo has taken a lot of bullets for me. Because he understands what is going on better than any other person. He has been with me since the time he met me till this point, and he believes in me. Mr. Kenyo is the secretary of the UPF in Finland. Well, in the afternoon, I'm going to make my official speech, which will address a lot of things. I just want to welcome every one of you to Finland. This is the man that everybody wants to crucify. And like I said, God is going to use me to end Nigeria. Thank you. You are welcome.
Professor Chima, welcome everybody. Again, my name is Dr. Ngazi. I'm going to quickly introduce the peaceful Biafra exit from Nigeria. What we are doing, I know a lot of people have talked about this, but I just want to give us a recap of what we're doing in respect to our exit from Nigeria and the reason we're doing what we're doing. So, let's see. Let's go. Next slide. Oh yeah, the mask is okay. Next. You have to do it for me. Okay. So, the Biafra Republic government in exile is the governing body of Biafrans from the Biafra territory in Nigeria, led by His Excellency the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, and the Brigade Cabinet. The government caters for Biafrans scattered in different parts of the world, in parts of Nigeria. In the south, we have Biafrans in the south, east, southwest, south, and middle belt of Nigeria. Biafra was a country between 1967 and 1970. Those of you that know the history and what happened. This independence was thwarted with a civil war that saw the killing of over 3 million Biafrans, including innocent women and children, by starvation. The Biafra government in exile tried to create awareness on these situations. No. You have to help us. A major way to bring lasting peace in Nigeria is to allow Biafrans to go their separate ways. Biafrans, we've used peaceful means, such as we've been calling for a referendum. We participate in the World Peace Summit in South Korea. And in that summit, we were able to let the world know what Biafrans are going through. A majority of them that were at that summit, they supported the exit of Biafra from Nigeria. We also use promoting equity, fairness, and peace for the past 10 years and more to call for the independence of Biafra and the freedom from Nigeria. The Nigerian government has resorted to killing of Biafrans that call for referendum. He has engaged in forceful arrest, jailing, killing, burning of Biafran homes, burning of their economy and sources of livelihood, which includes markets and businesses. There's also been a sweeping clampdown of innocent Biafran that yearn for freedom and for self-determination. The situation that exists in Nigeria before the civil war still exists today. Biafra and Nigeria fought a bitter war between 1967 and 1970, and during this period, the Nigerian government used the starvation and cutting off of food supplies to Biafra territory to kill over 3 million Biafrans, including children and women. The civil war was preceded by a 1966 military coup, which was caused by religious, cultural, and ethnic tension between the northern and southern regions, with intrusion by Western bodies. In 1967, this will come to a head and result in a full-blown civil war. So Biafra was a country between 1967 and 1970, and that country is here right now. We are going to take it back. So over 5 million undocumented Biafrans died during the war, with 3 million of them being children who died from starvation. There was a dangerous diversity that created perpetual inequity, injustice, unfairness, lack of justice by the Nigerian government against Biafrans, who were seen as resilient, very intelligent, and wanted to be economically independent, using their natural resources, such as the crude oil. These natural resources have been harnessed by foreign countries and politicians with the help of the Nigerian government. So while we produce these resources, the Western world, the foreign countries, they keep on harnessing these resources, and that is their partnership with Nigerian government that make them hell-bent on killing Biafrans when we request for self-agitation for our freedom, which is a fundamental human right for us to determine how and who is going to govern us. We are at that point where nobody can stop us from doing that at this time. Thank you. These natural resources have been harnessed by different foreign countries, and we have been living with poor transportation lines, no standard hospital, inept water supply, no electricity, gas lines, and underdeveloped healthcare system. I want to let us know that even though some people refer Nigeria, that we produce the mineral resources, the natural resources, crude oil, I can tell you there's no water, no pipe-borne water in Nigeria today, nowhere. If you build a house today, you have to dig a borehole and connect it to the house. No single water yet. We have all these natural resources being milked from Biafra territory. That has to stop, and we have stopped it. Some of the reasons for Biafran exit from Nigeria, some people are not aware. Biafran seeks to exit Nigeria because of what we call the dangerous diversity that exists in the country and the forceful amalgamation of the northern southern Nigeria by the British without the consent of the regions of Nigerians involved. There is no common law or constitution in Nigeria. I've not seen a country where we have two laws that guide the country. You have the Sharia law in the northern part of Nigeria, and you have the regular constitution in the southern part of Nigeria. Some of you remember the story of Deborah, the Christian girl that was stoned to death in the northern part of Nigeria. Because the family, they were Christians living in the northern part of Nigeria, but because she is a Christian, she's not used to the law of the Muslim, she was stoned to death in public. And nobody, the government, they did not think about that. So this is the dangerous diversity we're seeing that made Biafra to exit Nigeria. You cannot have two laws in one country. In the north, they are practicing Sharia. In the south, it's just a regular law. And the Christians that live in the northern part of Nigeria, they are forced to go by the rules of the Sharia. If they don't do that, they kill them. That's why you have massive killings and burial of innocent Nigerians every day, mass burial. Because if you don't believe in Sharia and you live in the northern part of the world of Nigeria, you are forced to live with that. We have no common culture, no common language, no common religion, no common ideology. Above all, the government in power polarizes these divisions and dangerous diversity through the laws they promote, the policies they make, and actions they take. I've never seen a country where the government rehabilitates and reintegrates known terrorists into the system. How do you expect that country to function? And that's part of the thing Biafra has said. We do not want to be part of a country that rehabilitates and reintegrates terrorists into the police, the army, all the security apparatus. And they engineer them to go after those that want their freedom. That must stop. A major example of a dangerous diversity, we have said, is the practice and forceful enforcement of Sharia law in the northern part of Nigeria, which extend to Christian children, women, and young girls. Yet, in the southern part of Nigeria, constitutional law practice. We all know about the Deborah, the young Christian girl that was killed and stoned to death. Those that committed the Dastard Act by killing that girl has not been publicly prosecuted by the Nigerian government, the senators, the House of Representatives, because they are part of the people that make this law. Remember, before any law, any bill becomes law, they have to vote on that. So the Nigerian senators, the Nigerian House of Representatives, they voted for some of these laws, like the rehabilitation and the reintegration of non-terrorists into the system. They voted and it passed. And mostly it passed because of the systemic thing that have been on for the past 100 years. We've been through this system. And there's no way you can introduce any law in the Nigerian system if it does not favor the powers that be, if it does not favor a particular religion, they will vote it down because they've systemically put most of their members, majority of their members' cultures into the Nigerian legislators. Biafra met the criteria to be recognized as a country based on the 1933 New World Summit in Montevideo, Uruguay, which convened with 18 U.S. nations and South America and the Caribbean. We are a nation. Biafra has met the criteria. We have a cultural identity shared by our people. We have a permanent scheduled population. We have a defined territory, geographical area, which our men on ground are guarding jealously. We have ability to enter into relationship with other countries' government. The government, Biafra government in exile by extension, the Biafra de facto government at homeland. We are the one in charge of our territory at this time. The Islamization of Nigeria. I know many of you may not be aware, but over the years, there have been a systemic plan to Islamize Nigeria. In fact, what has happened in Afghanistan is about replaying in Nigeria. There have been killings, jailings, and maiming of innocent Biafrans and indigenous Nigerians in the southern Kaduna, Zamfara, Borno, Benue states. Every day, we have killings, reported killings of innocent indigenous Nigerians. So what happened? They brought in all these terrorists from the Sahel. They came in over there, take over the indigenous properties, not only in Biafra territory, in the whole part of Nigeria. They kill them, they maim them, they take over their lands. Those that does not agree with what they do, they kill them. So that is what we are going through every day. And Biafrans have said we can never be part of a system that rehabilitates and reintegrates non-terrorists into their system. In the Biafra region, there were several killings at Ehamufu, and recently the Aba massacre during the recent peaceful march for the release of Nnamdi Kanu by the Nigerian police and military early this year. Innocent Nigerians that were marching for the release of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The Nigerian government connived with the southeastern governors and they massacred over 40 innocent Biafrans just for marching. That is why our Prime Minister said, we are not going to march again because when we march, they kill us. So we are going to defend our country. Self-defense is allowed. The law allows that. So the next thing, number 10. Okay. So recently we have 150 peaceful protesters killed in chilling crackdown. Acid was sprayed on Biafrans that called for referendum. This happened in November 24, 2016. There was a Hamufu killing on December 18, 2022 by Fulani herders. Over 50 Biafrans, including women and children, were killed. There was recent Aba massacre, over 30 killed. When they tell you 30 were killed, just know they're up to 60 because they suppressed the press from reporting the facts about Biafra in Nigeria. There were the Obibo killing, October 19, 2020. Over 100 killed on orders of Governor Wike by the Nigerian soldiers. I want to let you know the Southeast governors, they partner with the Fulani terrorist Nigerian government to kill and maim Biafrans. And we have come to the point where we say, this can never go on again. If you support the Nigerian government that encourages terrorism and kill our people, we are going to come after you because we cannot fold our hands and you kill us. There was also the NSAS killing of innocent youth protesting police brutality, evidence of killings on news and social media. Biafrans were even arrested just for wearing Biafran clothes. This cannot continue anymore. Biafrans, we are using peaceful means to call for a referendum. We are appealing for peaceful means to exit Nigeria, just like they did in Brexit. When Britain wanted to exit, there was no force, there was no problem. They didn't call them terrorists. They didn't call them villains. They have to go through the normal process. They voted, and there was Brexit. Now, in Biafra, we want Biafra to exit Nigeria. It must be the same process. Any world leader, any organization, both local and international, that is stopping or not supporting Biafra from conducting a peaceful referendum, that person is part of the terrorism and part of the killing going on. We are using civil disobedience. We have executed successful Monday sit at home in the whole Biafra territory. Thanks to our able Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. The Monday sit at home has been successful for the past 2 years in all parts of Biafra. The Nigerian government has been fighting the Monday sit at home. The Southeast governors who collude with the Nigerian government has been fighting the Monday sit at home. The other part of the DOS, the different parts of the agitators that are not the real one, and these are the people that's supposed to have worked with our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. They fought the Monday sit at home. So that shows us who is the real person that is fighting for Biafra restoration. No other person than all of you here and our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. We have been calling for the release of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He is the leader of Biafra. He was forcefully kidnapped from Kenya, moved back to Nigeria without the due process. That leader has defeated Nigerian government in almost 3 courts. And the United Nations, a committee was set up and they've ordered the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Till today, Nnamdi Kanu is languishing in Nigerian jail, held by this terrorist Nigerian government. And the Biafrans have said, no, you hold Nnamdi Kanu. What we are seeing today, what we are doing today, is the only reason Nigerian government arrested Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing more. He just said, let my people go. But we are telling Nigerian government, the Southeast governors, their agents that work with them today, the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, the kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu has made Biafra to be here today. And there's nothing they can do to stop it. Other peaceful means we've been using, we've reported to the United Nations, to the European Union, we've gone everywhere, to the world. We've called for even for our leader Nnamdi Kanu to get appropriate medical care, but they refused. He was in the jail. There was people that had tuberculosis locked up in the same jail with him. He has ear infection. He has heart problem. Different problem. Nigerian government has refused for Nnamdi Kanu to get the care and the help he needs, despite different court orders to allow him to get the help. So that tells everybody here, it's not about Nnamdi Kanu. It is about all of us here. The Fulani wants to hold us down, and that will never happen. The injustices that have been meted out to Biafrans over the years cannot continue anymore. The United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention of Nnamdi Kanu, of which Nigeria is a member state, states that he has human rights obligations above the regional and universal levels. The committee has recommended immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally and to reimburse him with adequate compensation for the arbitrary violation of his fundamental human rights. This is United Nations that gave this order. But has Nigeria obeyed it? Did the Nigerian government and senators, did they obey this United Nations? So how do they expect us to follow the law of the United Nations when they don't follow the laws of the United Nations? Exactly. So I just want to piggyback to let you all know that Nigerian government rehabilitates and reintegrates known terrorists into the Nigerian military, police, security, and in turn use these terrorists to attack Biafrans. It is their law. They sat down, they voted. Majority carried the vote. Because they were a majority, they voted, and it's happening today. The use of divide and conquer tactics to engage politicians in Biafra territory to kill indigenes using hired militia and security operatives such as Ebubago, Asari Dokubo militia, and even some agitators. Some people you even think they are with you, they are fighting. They are part of the Nigerian system. And they've been brought over by the government to kill genuine Biafrans and subvert freedom fighting for Biafra. They also use the Nigerian media to suppress genocide going on in Nigeria and Biafra land. There was a Twitter ban. Recent reports by the current UN Deputy Secretary, who happens to be a Fulani daughter, to suppress genocide reports in Nigeria, use of international bodies to suppress genocide, and use of countries that benefit from the mineral and natural resources of Biafra to castigate Biafra and label them as terrorist group, while shielding the real terrorists that invade, kill, maim, and displace indigenous Nigerians from their homes and destroy their farms. As of now, taxes are being collected by terrorists in some northern part of Nigeria, while the government ignores them. Okay. Please, everybody here, I know I have to say this last one. We have to help stop the massacre of innocent Biafrans and Nigerians by rehabilitating reintegrated terrorists of the state. Help Biafra exit a terrorist state. Help us defend our lands. Help Biafra stop the killing of innocent children, women, and youths by the Nigerian government and their agents. Help us attain our independence to maximize the potential of Biafran people. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.